Welcome. This video is over measurement conversion. So let's look at our number routine. Two things alike and two things different about this table right here. What do you see alike? They use a kilometer twice. Minutes an hour is about time, while kilometers is about distance. Things that are different. Well, the units here are different. Here they use minutes and here they use hours. And well, they use different numbers here. But let's go back and look at like a little more. What is another way to say 1 hour? 60 minutes. So what is the relationship between 20 minutes to 60 minutes? Times 3 times 3. 6 kilometers times 3 is 18 kilometers. So it's actually 6 kilometers 20 minutes is the same as saying 18 kilometers 1 hour or 18 kilometers 60 minutes. So they actually have the same rate. So what we're going to be doing is you're going to be using a calculator. In 1 year, how many minutes are there? So using your calculator, so take out a calculator, how many minutes are there in 1 year? Well, as you're doing that, here's the answer. Anyway, so it says 520. Let's stop this. So it says 525,600 minutes. So how would you get that? Well, first of all, we know there are 60 minutes an hour. And how many hours are there in a day? Times 24. So there's 60 minutes in a day. There are 24 hours in a day. And how many days are there in a year? 365. And that's where you get 525,600 minutes. And so that is the answer. All right, so today during class, I will have a big bucket of water. And then you are going to answer this question. How many cups, how many pints does it take? How many pints are equal to 10 cups? So here's the bucket. I will pour 10 cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 cups of water into this bucket. Then I will figure out, and I'll pour from the bucket to here to figure out how many cups, how many pints there are in 10 cups. Well, in here, you'll see that there are 2 cups, 1 cup, 1 cup. There are 2 cups for every pint. So if there are 2 cups for everything, so let's draw it. So we have a cup makes a pint. So we have another 2 cups that makes a pint. So right now we have 4 cups, 2 pints. A cup, and a pint. A cup, pint. And then cup makes pint. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 cups. How many pints do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pints. So you could do it using the drawing method. However, maybe you prefer using a table or doing something called proportion. Which one do you prefer? Maybe some people like tables. So here's a table. There are 2 cups for every 1 pint. If I have 2 pints times 2, that'd be 4 cups. If I have 3 pints that would be 6 cups. If I have 4 pints, that would be 8 cups. If I have 5 pints, that would be 10 cups. So there's 5 pints for every 10 cups. Maybe you prefer making something like a proportion. So here's cups, pints. There are 2 cups for 1 pint. If I know I have 10 cups in that bucket, what is the relationship from 2 cups to 10 cups? Times 5 times 5, 5 pint. Or maybe you see an up and down relationship. How do you break down 2 cups to 1 cup to 1 pint? You divide by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So today you'll be given a mathematics chart like such as this one right here. In your mathematics chart, we're going to be practicing making tables, and we're going to be practicing making proportion. So 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. So what is the relationship from 1 liter to 3 liter? Times 3. That's 3,000 milliliters. What's the relationship from 1 liter to 7? Times 7, 7,000. What's the relationship from 1 to 8? Times 8, 8,000. Now, what's the relationship from 1,000 to 10,000? Times 10, that'll be 10 liters. Another way you can do it is you can look at an up and down relationship. How do you turn 1 liter to 1,000, 3 liters to 3,000, 7 to 7,000? You times it by 1,000. So let's look at proportion. So every liter, there are 1,000 milliliters. So what's the relationship from 1,000 to 3,000? Times 3 times 3. That's called scale factor. So that'd be 3. So in words, there's 1 liter for every 1,000 milliliter. You could also see an up and down relationship because some people prefer up and down relationship. How do you turn a 1 to 1,000? Times 1,000. 3 times 1,000 is 3,000. Or you could do, how do you break down 1,000 to 1? Divide by 1,000. 3,000 divided by 1,000 is 3. Let's try this one now. What do you know about hours and days? There are 24 hours in 1 day. If there are 2 days, how many hours would that be? Times 2 times 2, that'd be 48 hours. Could you also do an up and down relationship if that's what you prefer? Yes, I could do that one. So I could do, how do you build 1 day to 24 hours? Times 24. 2 times 24 is 48. So 4 times 28. So 4 times, let me say it one more time. How do you build 1 day to 24 hours? Times 24. 2 times 24 is 48. 4 times 24 is 96. Or maybe you prefer a sideways relationship. How many 24s go into 120? Well, we know 24 times 4 is 96. Let's try 24 times 5. Let's see if that's what. 5 times 4 is 20, carry to 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So it is 5. And then how do you build 1 day to 8 days? Times 8. 24 times 8, that's 2, 32, carry to 3. 16 plus 3 is 192. A shorter way is, how do you build a 4 to an 8? From 4 days to 8 days, times 2. 96 times 2 is 192. So let's fill out the portion. 1 day has 24 hours, times 5 times 5. 24 times 5 is 120 hours. So there's 1 day has 24 hours. So for the rest of the class, you're going to be practicing making a table or proportion and showing the relationship, a proportional relationship. So Grandma made 128 quarts of jelly last summer. How many gallons of jelly? So let's look at our chart. Quarts and gallons right here. So let's label this gallon, 1 gallon, quarts, 4. There's 128 quarts. So do you want to do a sideways relationship, or do you want to do an up and down relationship? Well, actually, 1 to 4, or we're turning 4 to 1. How do you break down 4 quarts to 1 gallon? Divide by 4. Divide by 4. So 128 divided by 4. Let me write out my 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. And 4 go in 12 3 times. Can 4 go in 8? 2 times. Oh, I only had to go up 2. So it's 32 gallons. Or 1 times 32 is 32. 4 times 32 is 128. Next one. Larry lost 8 pounds on his new diet. How many ounces did he lose? Let's look for pounds and ounces. Oh, here it is. Every pound has 16 ounces. So let's label our proportion. So pound, ounces. LB, OZ for ounces. 1 pound has 16 ounces. He lost 8 pounds. Do you want to do a sideways relationship or up and down relationship? I'm going to do sideways relationship this time. How do you turn a 1 to 8? Times 8 times 8. 16 times 8. 16 times 8. 48 carry to 4. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 12. 128. Or you could do an up and down relationship. How do you build a 1 pound to 16 ounces? Times 16. 8 times 16 is 128. A beanstalk grew 30 centimeters in a month. How many millimeters did it grow? So let's look for centimeters and millimeters. Centimeters and millimeters. Centimeter. Here it is. Every centimeters, there's 10 millimeters. Every centimeters to 10 millimeters. So 30 centimeters go here. What is the relationship between 1 to 30? Times 30 times 30. 10 times 30. Let's do a shortcut. 1 times 3 is 3. You put 2 zeros. 300. Or you do an up and down relationship. 1 times 10 is 10. 30 times 10 is 300. And the last one, Monana walked 3.2 kilometers before stopping for a Slurpee and some pickled herring. Ew. How many meters did she walk? Let's look for kilometers and meters. Kilometers and meters. Oh, it's right here. Every kilometer, there are 1,000 meters. So 1 kilometer has 1,000 meters. So where would you put 3.2 kilometers? Up here. So what is the relationship between 1 kilometer to 3.2? What's the scale factor? Times 3.2. So you're scaling it up. So what is 1,000 times 3 and 2 tenths? Let's do a shortcut. 1 times 32 is 32. How many zeros do you see here? 3 zeros. When we learn how to multiply decimals, you count the digits behind it. How many digits do you see behind there? 1 digit. So you have to jump to the tenths place. So it's 3,200 meters. It's the same as saying 3 and 2 tenths kilometer. So you can make tables, proportion, whatever you want to do in order to solve measurement conversions.